Even though there is a clearly defined template that is used in your project for documenting the requirements, why is it that you may still receive review comments to be incorporated? Won't it be helpful if you have a checklist to refer before finalizing the requirements and sharing to stakeholders for review? Today, we are going to discuss such a list of 8 attributes that will help us to improve the quality of our requirements documentation. Every requirement should be clear, concise, consistent, relevant, unambiguous, correct, testable, and traceable. For ease of using this, let us frame a question that we can ask ourselves while documenting the requirements to ensure that each of these attributes are covered. Clear. For ensuring clarity of requirements, ask yourself the question, will I get a comment from my stakeholder stating that they are unable to understand what I have written? Concise. To ensure that the requirement is concise, ask yourself the question, have I included any additional information that is unnecessary and making the requirement more complex and difficult to understand? Consistency. To ensure consistency, ask yourself the question, are there any requirements that are conflicting with each other? Relevant. To ensure relevancy, ask yourself the question, are all the requirements that I have captured relevant for this feature? Or is there any requirement that is supposed to be moved to another feature? Unambiguous. To remove ambiguity, ask yourself the questions, are there any gaps or missed scenarios in the requirements that I have captured? Are there any terminologies that I have used which my intended audience may not understand? Correct. I would say that this is the most important attribute. It is not necessary that the information that you have obtained during the requirements elicitation with different stakeholders may be correct. So, always ask yourself the question, am I convinced on the correctness of the obtained information? If you are not convinced, you should always do further analysis and if required, discuss again with the same stakeholders or different set of stakeholders until you are convinced on the correctness of the requirements. Testable. To ensure testability, ask yourself the question, once the solution is implemented, will the tester be able to test and confirm that this requirement is working as expected in the solution? Traceable. To ensure traceability, ask yourself the question, have I specified the source of this requirement? If this requirement is challenged, do I have the necessary details to prove the source of this requirement? If we as business analysts ensure that these points are covered while documenting the requirements, this will significantly help in improving the quality of the requirements documentation. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.